Chapter 2, Problem 5. This would be marked Exercise 2.6 in the book. They give us some information. And as always with the information, let's go through and see what we need. Because we don't always need all the information. It's a consulting firm, they use job order costing. Well, that's pretty important. We need to know that. That's especially important because you don't know any other way. Direct material consists of hardware and software that it purchases and installs. The direct labor includes salaries of consultants, and its overhead costs consist of depreciation, utilities, insurance, etc., etc. All nice to know, but kind of irrelevant. They compute its predetermined overhead rate annually. That is important, which means at the beginning of each year, they estimate the overhead for the coming year. And they use direct labor hours. So what that means is they're going to guess their total overhead and divide it by what they guess their total hours to be. At the beginning of the year, it estimated 80,000 direct labor hours. Estimate is the term accountants use because you can't charge enough if you say guess. Would be required for the period's level of client service. They also guessed 680,000 of fixed overhead and the variable overhead of 50 cents per direct labor hour. The firm's actual overhead cost for the year was nobody cares, and its actual total direct labor was nobody cares about that either. Okay, so first thing it wants us to do, compute the predetermined overhead rate. We can do that. As a matter of fact, your kid in 5th grade can do this because we're taking the estimated fixed overhead, 680,000. 680,000. We're now going to take our estimated variable overhead, 50 cents per 80,000. That's 40,000. So our estimated total overhead cost is 720,000. Why do we need that? So that we can come up with our predetermined overhead rate. So we estimate 720,000. We're going to use 80,000 hours. We guessed 720. We guessed 80,000. And that gives us our predetermined overhead rate of $9. Now, if you wanted to go through and do the estimated fixed overhead, divide by 80, and then add 50 cents per hour, as long as you had 80,000 hours, it would work. When you're doing a predetermined rate, you combine them, okay? So, every time we use a labor hour, we add $9 per labor hour for overhead. That's the concept of predetermined rate. So, let's take that information and go on to the next step. And let me fill this in so we have the numbers right here. Our total overhead we came up with was 720,000. Our 80,000 hours, so our predetermined overhead rate was $9. I just brought that over here so it's all on one page. Now, they tell us that this job used $38,000 worth of direct material. They told us that. They told us our direct labor was $21,000. and they told us that we used 280 hours. And every one of those hours has to be multiplied by 9 to come up with the amount of overhead applied, which is 2,520. 9,000 times 280, 2,520. The total manufacturing costs for this job, just sum them up, $61,520. So again, the trick is always to make sure you know what's in the problem and know what pieces you need and what pieces you don't need.